Hello guys, welcome once again. This is the 30-second video tutorial of C# series, and in this video we are going to look at SQLite. What is SQLite and how we actually use that and how we're gonna connect that SQL via C#. A lot of people ask me the question that why do we actually implement our database on a server level. So for once someone asked me that why do we actually create a database on our system and how we are gonna implement that database on our client system. So that was at first a good question, I thought, and then I studied about that a little bit. So for example, if you have a database and you are creating that database on a server like Oracle, MySQL, PHPMyAdmin, these kind of databases. So when you will implement on that client's computer, then you also need to have a server like this to implement that database. So what is a serverless database? That we are going to study today. SQLite is serverless database, and for example, if you have a client, you create a database on your system. Now you can implement the same database on your client system without any specific thing, without doing any specific or remarkable installations, right? So how will you do that? We'll see in today's video. So SQLite is basically an open source software, right? Or as open source library, you can say, that is available on the internet for free. And there are also some extensions or DLL files that you actually use to connect this SQLite with C#, because C# actually in itself doesn't have any extension that could be used for connecting SQLite. So I hope that basic purpose of using SQLite is clear to you. So SQLite is easy to use and it is easy to implement, and you don't actually need any server to run that kind of database. Okay, so SQLite is a serverless database platform, right? So let's go ahead and create a new project, right, so that you may understand things better in a better way. Okay, so when you will hit new project, you will have these kind of things here. So in here you need to select Visual C#, and then you will select Windows Forms application from here, and then you can name it whatever you want. So in my case I will name it as SQLite. Okay, so it is telling me that already a project with this name is there, so SQLite underscore. So I will hit OK, and now my project is created. Okay, so now you will see this kind of thing. A form has been created because my SQLite underscore project has been created, right? So you have this kind of form, and now you need to actually, I don't have their tools button, so first of all I'll go here and I'll hit toolbox. So toolbox is now visible, so I'll drag a button out here and name it as connect SQLite, right? I don't have properties yet. In order to have a property window, I will go to Windows and layout, and yes, and now you can see I have the properties of my button from here. So I'll change the text to connect SQLite. So before connecting SQLite and before writing code, I've got to do a little things, and I'm gonna show you. So first of all, you need to right click right under your solution file, whatever you have named your project, you will right click on that. Once again, I'm going to show you that this solution SQL file project 1, and in here whatever your project is, you need to right click on that, and then first of all you need to go to Open File Explorer. So right here, this is your project folder, and in here you need to go to bin. and after double clicking on bin you will have debug, and you need to double click on debug too. So right now you can see that there are four files, four execute, for some of these files are executable. So this folder contains executable file basically. So the next thing I need to do, I need to go to the sourceforge.net. This is an open source library where you can download DLL files. I'll put the link into the description. So when you will click on downloads, you will have this SQLite.net 68 dll.zip file, the first one. So you need to click on that, and when it will get downloaded, I have already actually downloaded this file, so I'm not gonna download that file again. So what I will do, I'll just stop downloading because I have already downloaded that. So this kind of thing will appear, right? So this is the file that I have downloaded. So when I will double click on that, you will see these three files. So you need to extract these three files. Alright, so when I will extract this, I have extracted this on my desktop. So what I am gonna do, I will copy these three files from my desktop. Alright, so I'm gonna copy that, and then what I'm gonna do, I will go to SQLite. Okay, right click on that and open folder in File Explorer. So when I will open that, then I'll go to the bin, then I'll go to the debug, and I'll have here these four things. So you just need to focus on these things. Now we have 7 things, right, including these files. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I am counting it for a purpose. Okay, so after that, what you need to do, you will go here, you will go to the add. Okay, and when you will put cursor on add, you will have these options. Now you need to add reference. Okay, so once again, go to the SQLite, your project name, go to add, then go to the reference. So you need to add a reference. When you will click that, a window will pop up. Alright, this kind of window will pop up. So I will go browse. So I'll hit browse. I have already referenced these three things, but for your sake, for the understanding's sake, I'll go here on my desktop where I have extracted these three files. I will select 3 of them, and then I will hit add. When I will hit add, you can see that 3 of them are now added to my project, and now they are selected, but I just need to have this .net.dll file. So what I will do, I will just uncheck both of them, and now I will hit OK. So now this .net file has been added to my references, right? So I hope that till now you don't have any kind of confusion. So now all the things have been done, the references have been added, the files, DLL files have been added. So now let's come to the point and let's create a database within SQLite. Okay, so we are working with SQLite, so we'll create a database with a code. And before generating that code, I will like to show you something, that you can use SQLite on your Firefox because it is preferable. If you don't have Firefox, then I will recommend you to go and actually download Firefox and then start this. Okay, so now what I need to do, I will go to the tools and I will go to the adds on, right here, adds on. I'll select that, and inside here I need to search for SQLite manager. But if I only write SQLite and if I hit search, then I have this SQLite manager for my Firefox. So what exactly is this? That this is an SQLite manager for your Firefox, and once you install this, you can see or view the database that you have created, the database file. Okay, so I'm referring to the database file that you will create or generate via C# code. Okay, so I have already added this, so that's why these are my options. But when you will search, what will happen, that you will get an install button here, and you just need to install that button. Okay, so after installing, the thing is, the question arises that how can we run this SQLite manager on our browser actually. So for that, you will go here. Okay, press Alt if you don't have these things here. So press Alt, it will go finished. When you will press Alt again, it will come. So go to the tools, and in tools you will see SQLite manager right here. So you need to click on that. When you will click on that, you will have something like this. Okay, so this is actually empty because I have not created any database yet, and neither I have imported any database yet. Okay, so now I'm gonna code. So if you remember that I have double click on this button, connect SQL, so it has basically it has taken me to the event of that button. So now I have added the SQLite files into my reference, so I also need to add a library of SQLite, and that is using finisher. Yes, finisher dot SQLite, right? So when I'll use this, I'm telling my Visual Studio that I'm gonna use my SQLite. So this finisher dot SQLite. Okay, so whenever I will use any of SQLite function, this finisher dot SQLite is gonna justify that, and it is going to work for that. Okay, so now time is to write the code, but I just need to show you that how actually this worked. So for that purpose, go to the same sourceforge.net website, that the link I will put into the description. Okay, so now click on documentation and example, and they have given you a C# source code. So I'm not gonna write the whole code again, so I will just copy paste that. Okay, so after copy pasting, you got to paste the same code here. Okay, so let's quickly review the code, what exactly this is. This is SQLite connection, SQLite con variable. Okay, so same like that we have used to have MySQL connection with our databases in my previous videos, if you have knowledge about my previous videos. So, and this is the command variable, same like MySQL command. This is the SQLite command. Okay, so this is the data reader. You will be familiar with all these variables if you have taken or learned my previous lectures. The next thing is that I have created my variable, and I have put this variable here, and I have put my information right here. Okay, this is the default one. So now the connection is open, and now this command function is connected to that con variable. That means it is gonna execute these credentials, whatever they could be. Okay, the next thing is that it is creating a table named as test, and it is basically creating a database indeed. So it is creating a database.db here. So right now, if I show you my debug folder, I have these 7 things. I don't have a database file yet. So when I will execute my program, there will be a database file here, right here. Okay, so in my file explorer, right? So in the next line, what I have done, I have created a table named as test, having two columns. One is ID and the other one is text. Okay, so first ID type is integer and the text type is walker. Okay, so the next thing is that I have used the command variable dot execute non-query. Okay, so this is the basically to execute the SQL. Okay, this is the necessary line, and then I have inserted, I mean the code, whoever has written the code, he has inserted the values in those two columns of the table. So the first one is representing this ID. Okay, the other one is representing this text. Okay, so that these two values have been added to the table of my database. Okay, so now it has executed this again. Okay, because it has inserted one line. The next thing is the same, it has inserted the second value to the corresponding columns. Okay, so again it has executed, so nothing is difficult in that code. So SQL, this is basically select static from test. It is basically building all the SQL query that has been given above. So it is adding those two values and then it is actually executing and weaving the table test that has been generated earlier. The next thing is that now the SQLite command object can give us a data reader object. So data reader object is very important here. So data reader object, what it actually does, that it goes into your database table and check if anything is left or not. It will read that and then it will go into the next row. Okay, in the next row of your column, and then it will see if the value is there, it will read that. If it is not there, it will stop there. Okay, so I'm gonna show you in a little while. So this is the while loop that we have created for our data reader. Okay, so what it is gonna do, it will read the value if the value is there in our column, and it will keep reading until it reaches null, until there is no value ahead. Okay, so in here it has taken a console dot write application, but as we have a Windows form application, so we are just gonna comment that line. Okay, because we're gonna write a different line because our application is a Windows form application, and for that I will define a string reader. Okay, and I'll put it equal to SQLite. I'm gonna take that data reader variable from here. I'm gonna just copy paste that, and now I'm gonna put dot, and then I'm gonna take get string, because this is the data reader variable. This is actually reading the data and it is getting that data, and I'm just converting that data into the string. Okay, so this get string, what it actually does, that at first if I put it 0, it will take the value from the very first column, because it actually is taking the columns as indexes. For example, it is taking, if the column 1 is here, it is gonna take that column 1 as on the index 0, and if there is the second column there, it is gonna be taking that column 2 as column 1. So likewise the array concept, if you know about arrays and about the indexing, so most probably you'll be familiar that. So what I have done, I have inserted these two values. So for example, if 1 and 2, these are the column 1, so if I put here 0, it is going to show me these values. If I put here 1, then it is going to show me these values. If I put 2 here, because there is no third column existing here, so what it is gonna show me, it is gonna show me null. So let's see how it actually works. So when I put 0, the error has gone, and it is ready to show me the column. Okay, so right now I will run my program, and it will take a while to run, but don't worry, we'll wait. So okay, come on. So now you can see that my program is running. So what I will do, I will hit this Connect SQLite button, and when I will hit that, I will get a pop-up or message box value, but I didn't write any message box value here, right? So I was supposed to get that result, but as I didn't write here the thing, because the result is stored in this reader variable, and I need to actually print that reader variable. So for that, what I will do, I will use a message box dot show. Okay, and inside here I will pass that variable named as reader. Okay, so now when I will run my program, you will be able to see whatever is inside this reader variable. So when I will hit Connect SQL, you can see it is showing me 1 as the column number 1 in my table. It contains its first value is 1. So when I will hit OK, it will show me its second value, and that is 2. And after 2, it has nothing, it has no value, so it will stop there. Okay, so what if I change this get string 0 to 1? Then it will take me to the second column actually. So this is the test text 1, and this is the test text 2. So when I will run this, okay, so you're gonna see that when I will connect SQLite, it will show me the test text 1, and when I hit OK, it is showing me test text 2. So now I have run my program. So let's go to our file explorer, and let's see if we have a database file. You can see that we have a database file, and if we go to its properties, you'll be able to see that this is a .db file. Okay, so we can also import that file to our SQLite manager right here. So what I'm gonna do, I will just go to connect database, and I'll search for my database right here. So I will go to all files, because my file is .db file, it is not actually .sqlite file. So I'll go to my projects, and in here I have this SQLite. This is my project actually that I'm working on. So I will hit that, I'll go to SQLite, I'll go to the bin, I'll go to the debug, and I have this my database file here, right here. This is my .db file. So I will open this. So now you can see that I have this table here, the test. You can see it has 2 columns. First is ID, the other one is text. So when I'll double click on that, you can see that ID column is there with 2 values, 1 and 2. Same like that, the text column is here with 2 values, text 1 and text 2. So I hope you have learned something new in today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and please rate, comment, subscribe. Bye for now.